What's going on, everybody? Anthony here, 𝐂𝐇𝐀𝐍𝐄 Mafia, episode 23. I think we're episode 23 of this evening's Saturday night stream. So I want to say what's up to my panel first before we get into it. I guess we'll go right down the row here. Mario, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Anthony? Thanks for having me on tonight. I'm excited to talk about whatever the hell we're going to talk about tonight. So let's go.
Yeah, we'll be talking about some things, man. We'll be talking about some things. Desi, what is going on, my man? How you doing?
Just happy it's Saturday night, man. Thanks for the invite. Glad to be here. A lot of things to talk about. So,
absolutely, brother. Good to have you here. Joao, what is going on, my man?
Everything's fine. Thanks for having me here, and I'm excited to talk about things.
Me too. Me too.
Beautiful.
I got some doozies. And finally, last but not least, Fabio, man, what's going on, brother, from 5'6", my dude?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me tonight. What's up, guys? Hey, everybody in the chat.
Hell yeah, man. So yeah, who's all up in the chat right now, guys? What's going on, everybody? What do we got up here? Let's just do a quick run here. We got Carlito. What is up, my friend? 𝕄𝔼𝐿𝐼𝐻. Andreas is here. Lane Kramer. Ashley Chase. What's going on? Punisher. How you doing, my friend? Single songwriter also in the house. What's going on? Collectors from around the world. FatBatman as well. What is up, dude? Who else we got up in here? AJ as well. What is going on, my friend? Thank you for joining this evening. Andrew James as well. What's up, bro? Wow, I'm actually on time. You are. You're actually on time, bro. Primetime reviews as well. What's going on? Valiant Archer. H Green. What's up, dude? Demented Shark. It's Popsick. J Ace, what is up? Renz as well, dude. Renz, how you doing, man? How you doing, buddy? Mike as well in here. CT603, what's up? Good evening to the panel. What is up to you, my friend? Willie as well is here as Sean. What is going on, guys? I'm sure more will be coming on in momentarily. So let's think about that for 1 second before I get into what I want to get into. How was your guys' weekend so far? I'm curious, man, because I haven't talked to you in a minute, Mario. What's been going on your channel? Anything?
On my channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did an episode of Uncivilized Scoundrels last Thursday. It was pretty cool. We're talking about some of the rumors that's been going on with the Obi-Wan show and some of the announcements coming out of Celebration, which we're all hell of excited for, man. So yeah, dude, it was fun. It was fun just chatting Star Wars, man, you know?
Hell yeah, man. Always, dude. Always, man. And same, Desi, man. What you been up to, bro?
I just dropped a video earlier today, a tutorial on how to make some street rubble. That was fun to do, and glad I was able to get that out. Thank you, man. Thank you. And that's about it. That's what I've been doing all today. I stayed up editing that video so I could put it out today, and hopefully get some rest tomorrow. But again, just excited to be here right now.
Yeah, man. I know, man. I've been so busy with work, so that's why I haven't been really sure what everybody's been up to, man. Like, I know Fobs, you were just with Aries as well, right?
Yeah, I was with him. Well, we were with Dante.
Oh, and yeah, Dante last night.
Yeah. I'm with Aries Monday again. Yeah, so, you know, little side gigs here and there, getting paid a lot of money, you know.
Oh, I know the feeling, man.
Wow.
I'm right there with Joel, man. We're
Anthony,
rich, right, buddy?
Bro.
Yep.
And then you had yours. You just did your stream too, right? With just this week with John, right, from Queen.
Last Wednesday, right?
Last
Wednesday, yeah.
That was.
But yeah, I was yesterday on Dante also, and this morning when I woke up to do my bike ride, I saw a message from Aries. I was to be on Aries, but I was not on time, and I messaged him. I should have been there because I punctured the tire of my bike, and it's a trouble now. So it's Aries Dark Force going against me because I wasn't on his stream.
That's what happens.
No, that's
Wizard got you.
You
don't
can't
get on the stream. He pops your tire. That's awesome, man. Well, I wanted to get into something, obviously, that's close to me. Half the panel, probably not. Maybe. Joel, are you still here?
Wizard got him.
Give me a second.
Okay. He's having technical difficulties. He's pumping the air in his tire. So we'll give him a second. So
no.
I need to get into it, man. So I'm gonna bring it up right now because we just did the Chicago RX06 convention all weekend. And I know most of us here are great fans. Joel, I'm wondering with you right away, man. What's your favorite figure, man? What's your favorite episode?
I'm sure Fabio told you that I never watched one single episode of Star
You've
Trek.
never seen Star Trek?
I don't know. I only know one guy named Spock, and I don't know who he is.
He's right there. Is that Spock right there?
Yeah, you don't know him. You don't know him.
So it's this one, exactly.
Oh man.
Oh no!
I will kill you, Fabio. I'm sure you told Anthony about this.
Listen, look, as you guys know, man. I mean, I'm heavily into this, so
And I asked Fabio, is Star Trek the third party of Star Wars? Because I don't know.
Negative, not even close. Not even close.
Wow,
that's a low blow.
shots fired, my guy.
You have to remember, Star Trek came out in the '60s, my friend.
And I know I'm joking because I asked Fabio, did you watch? And he said, oh no, because when I was in Colombia, I was a kid. They passed the Star Trek Generations every day, and it's just too much talking. I didn't watch anything. I hated it.
Yeah.
So you can ask him his opinion.
Sorry, I told him already.
Yeah, no, Fabio's not much of a fan.
No, it's just, honestly, it's just like this. Back in my country when I was a kid, was like Star Wars. Star Trek was not, we didn't have Star Trek over there. And I only knew about Star Trek late in the, I think 2000s when there was the new movie, right? I think they did
2009, yeah.
Yeah, I only knew about that, but it was too late for me. But I know they make, what is like this?
Yeah, that's the Vulcan salute. Live
like
long and prosper.
I remember this from Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, well, that's not Star Trek. But I know it's referenced too. But listen, man, this is really cool, man, because we dropped like 30 figures this weekend.
No, but
it's still going on right now in Chicago.
Yeah, they look good. That's what I told them. They look really good. The figures
Look really good.
That's going on.
And from what I've been hearing in the post Facebook and various groups, everyone is quite satisfied with the quality of these figures.
Yeah. Talk of the town right now, man. It's big hype for people who are fans of Trek, and I know some of us here are. People in the chat are. I figure this is probably something good to talk because it is still 6 scale, And I know even though if you don't have a frame of reference of the show, just kind of what your initial thoughts. I mean, look at the Beagle.
Oh,
Wow, looks like an actual dog.
Yeah.
From,
Yeah. Good point.
From Enterprise. That's Captain Archer's dog.
Oh my.
So,
like the John Wick.
and that's Mirror Universe Sulu. So, well, let me ask Desi, man. Desi, because Desi, you love Trek, man. Are you excited?
I'm very excited, man. I gotta say, I'm not a walking encyclopedia like yourself. I wish I was, but I saw your stream with the Nobi, man. You guys are, holy crap. You remember the episode names? Oh my god.
Names, numbers, seasons.
Yeah, and that's amazing, man. No, I mean, I saw all of TNG and DS9 being my favorite, but I'm really excited for the TNG line and DS9. I can't, and then the Wrath of Khan figures too, but I can't get everything, but I'm gonna try to handpick some stuff. I do regret not getting First Contact Picard and Data because these look pretty darn good, honestly. Yeah, the tailoring on a lot of them is superb. Man, I can't wait. And the Borg alcove that they showed off with I think that it plugs in, right?
Yep,
I mean,
USB.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait. And Ricardo Montalban come out at con, like that's awesome.
Dude,
it's awesome, man.
It's pretty awesome. So, and again, a lot of these are still prototype. Some aren't obviously final yet because we've come. This is the con. We're going to show everything that's coming and what have you. But man,
look at this.
Yeah, that's Commander Saru from the new show from Discovery, and that's amazing looking as a figure.
Yeah,
I mean, any alien is welcome to me, regardless of if I knew the franchise or not. It's just something different. You know what I mean?
He's played by Doug Jones, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's
he was
cool.
just at the booth a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So very cool. Yeah, man. So lots of cool stuff. There's our Wrath of Khan. As you know, all the parts are die cast. The belt, comm badge, all that stuff. So it's pretty dang cool, man. I mean, it was a big event. It's a big event. So I figured bringing it up. I mean, well, I know you don't know, man, but you thinking they're looking pretty good, or what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I think they look pretty good. And seem they are announcing lots of figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of them. What's the release? The release time for them is like Hot Toys. Is a year is what? It's
No, we're
faster?
usually pretty quick. See Cork, that's amazing. That's like such an amazing.
Well, this looks really good.
Yep.
Really good, man. Now when we do an announcement, it's usually a couple months after,
Whoa.
and then release. So now these aren't all announcements. It's to be determined. You know what I mean? Like right now, we haven't officially announced it. We're just throwing these out there to see. But exactly, I'm throwing money at the screen already.
Look at that jacket. Look at that jacket. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
That's crazy.
For a Star
Amazingly
Trek
cool.
fan, this is amazing.
And see what we're doing here, which you can tell with Riker. See, one version is the television screen, and the other version is the set screen.
So I wanted to ask about that.
Mhm.
Is that going to be an option? Or okay,
yeah,
cool.
so like the stock figure would be the television outfit,
Okay.
and then the plan is to have kind of like not necessarily a deluxe, but one that's a different version that comes with both outfits,
Cool.
so that you can just swap the tunic. You know what I mean? If you wanted to do so, because that's really big in the Trek community. A lot of cosplayers want this like the set accurate color, and the colors change when you film. So what we see on television is not what's seen on set on stage. So it's good to have that option. Just cool
Amazing,
quality
man.
of life. Right, exactly. So that's that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's just so much. There's so much cool stuff, man. There's so much cool stuff. I know Mario, you haven't really watched much anyway either, so I doubt you're probably much interested in any of these, right?
Well, first of all, I'm offended that you would even think that, bro. No, you're right. I've seen some of them, actually. The one I remember the most is actually Star Trek 2 and some of the Search for Spock. Those are the ones that the red in those outfits really stood out to me, dude. And yeah, all these figures that y'all just dropped, man. I mean, this is a Trekkie's freaking wet dream right here, bro. I mean, it's awesome to see all this shit coming out right now. But I just have a question, man. Where's Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Simon Pegg, Zoe Saldana? Where they at? Are we gonna get them?
We'll see.
We're not gonna see any J.J. Abrams type of Star Trek, or am I speaking? Or am I
We'll see.
being blasphemous here?
We'll see. Right now, what you're seeing is what you're seeing.
The
So
Star Wars
they
version
look-
of Star
they look-
Trek.
yeah, for
Hey,
right
man.
now,
dude.
yeah,
We
exactly.
got an R2
right?
cameo in the first one, bro. If you guys didn't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, they look great, man. I mean, yeah, there's a lot here going on, and I remember this guy that I met at the con last weekend, man. He was pretty cool.
That's
This
Christopher
Klingon
Lloyd.
guy. Yeah, did I meet Christopher Lloyd?
No, but he was just a Klingon
Oh, man.
guy dressed up.
You have to
See, look at that
wonder.
Kirk. That's there. There you go, right there's the.
Yeah, that's
Rathacon.
dope. Yeah,
gotta
that's
get
dope.
that-
The Rathacon figures, man.
You got to get the Christopher Lloyd figure and put him on the DeLorean, though.
You have to.
That would be great.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing. And Fabio, I know obviously is you as well, but I mean your thoughts in general.
Well, as a collector, they look great. Like if I didn't know anything about the show and I was like, oh, let me get these figures, I would definitely look into them. They look really good. Like I think Desi said, the tailoring in these things is amazing. The head
That's a nice
sculpt,
shot
too.
with these three.
Mhm.
They look.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they remind me of like the show from back then. You know what I mean? And I would like watch it, and I would just see like the guy with the glasses always stands out to me. I never knew anybody's name, but what do you call it? But it just brings me right back to those scenes where like I would be watching and be like, "What the hell am I watching?" You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but they look great.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, that's Empress Giorgio. That's Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, that looks like somebody like a what do you call it? Like a designer like outfit. You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Yeah. Anthony, are all these figures are any of them out yet, or are all these like are in the pipeline?
No, everything that we're showing here is not out yet.
Wow, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of figures.
That's a lot of figures.
Yeah, we currently have 5 out right now. Well, 4, but technically 5. Mirror Spock should be shipping very soon to everybody, which is our
Yeah.
5th.
That's
So-
awesome, man.
Yeah, everything shown here is not out yet. So, that's a lot.
It'd be nice if like Hot Toys can do this for us at Celebration, man. Just showing everything that's coming down the pipeline, even though we probably won't even get it It'd be nice to
Right?
see it in person, though, dude. So.
If you think that, yeah, if they would, that would have been crazy.
Yeah. But no, these look great, man. You know, I mean, the fact that you're getting all these characters. I mean, I don't know, you know, the minutia of each and every character, but yeah, just the idea of having this many characters come off from Star Trek, where I see a lot of fans are really excited about it, man. It's pretty awesome.
I was gonna ask, accessory wise, like what are they usually like? What's a normal figure? What does it come with? Because I wouldn't know what it would come with anyway. So
Well, it depends. Like for some of them are very specific to the character. But if they're general like crew member from one of the shows, for example, the doctor from Voyager, right, that we have, he has his medical tricorder and he's got his medical scanner. But nobody else would have that because he's a doctor. See what I mean? So whereas like Janeway from Voyager has a cup of coffee because she's always drinking coffee. So she has, you know, so some people have specific accessories. Otherwise, they'll have their standard phasers or phaser rifles or their tricorders, which are like their scanners. So it really depends. It really depends. If there's something specific, like Mirror Spock was, you know, in the original series Mirror Universe episode, he's got accessories specific to that episode.
So it's not just like generic like hands in a gun.
Correct. It all depend. You know, just like that Captain Archer came with his dog. He has to have his dog. See what I'm saying? So yeah, it's everybody has something kind of specific to them, which is awesome. It's very cool. Combat Evolve, what's up, bro? He's the first contact date in Picard are amazing. Can't wait to get Locutus and Mirror Spock. Yeah, dude. It's huge. There's Q. Q will be coming soon. He will be our next, I believe.
When did the con start?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. So were all the reveals today, or were there some? That were
most reveals were yesterday, and then today we showed off the Wrath of Khan stuff, the Kirk and Spock and McCoy, Empress Giorgio. All these right here we showed yesterday, and they're still there, but you know we added even more today. So like this was for today. Now, for example, he gets the dilithium chamber here with the gloves, so that's another big accessory, right? Because it was specific to the movie. So that's kind of, to kind of answer your question a little bit more there, Fabio, is that, you know, each person has something,
right?
And then there's the Borg alcoves that Desi was talking about.
So now does that come all together as one figure, or you got to buy each piece separately?
No, the alcoves will be separate. See, just like the captain's chair right here is a separate item.
Gotcha. That's
so
cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, man. Well, the background's gonna be sold separately.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will have these high print backgrounds for certain characters, which is really cool. But they're separate. You know,
So
if you want
they all
to
use
buy
the same base, right? To match up.
Measured for details or measured for what? Like what size of the background?
I'm pretty sure they'll fit because it's the way you fold. They can be folded, so it's manipulated how like you see it at an angle, kind of gives you that illusion. So I think it'll fit, but I'm not quite certain yet. But yeah, most of the bases are like we have standard transporter bases that can connect to each other to create like one giant transporter pad. So it's a lot of cool stuff like that. You know, Fabio,
if you invest in magic cases, you may not have that issue, bro. You know, I'm just saying.
No,
we're going to talk about that.
I already messaged them. I sent them a video of the entire layout that I need. So I'm looking into that too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. But that's all I really wanted to do right there for those. I wanted to bring that up because I know there's a lot of Trekkies out there, myself included, and it's pretty awesome. You know, in the 6 scale world, it's like, you know, think about that. All of a sudden, there's a convention and you get 30 plus figures just shown, boom, like in your face. You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure that probably.
Is it offensive to say Trekkers? Because I've heard both.
No, you could say either or. You know, some people just say like, I'm a Trekker, and then they're like, I'm a Trekkie. It's
all right.
Okay. It's either or, man. It really is. It's really either or, dude.
Is that true, Desi?
Yeah. I wouldn't consider myself a Trekker. I'm not qualified. I just really like it, but
I'm definitely a Trekker.
Oh, you're
100%. 100%.
This guy's a Trekker, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, number one fan, Joel. Second only to Fabio, right? You guys should start a podcast.
about Star Trek.
Checking out.
Trekking out.
No, that would be great, man. That would be great. Yeah, it is. It is.
We never know.
Absolutely nice.
It's never too late.
No, you guys could start
It's
watching
never
it.
too late. We can start watching.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Graham?
Graham is in the house. What's going on? Jedi Knights watch. Whoa. What an all-star panel. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Everybody here tonight. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of address that briefly because that's pretty dope. And then I kind of wanted to talk about something that's probably not that fun to talk about. And I don't know if you guys can imagine what that may be.
Politics?
No.
I hope not.
No, you know what I'm talking about? Because we talked about this briefly, a few weeks last month. In fact, I think Fabio might have been in here with me. I know Mario was, where we were talking about the Star Wars in general, the pre-orders, and there was like, quite a bit. But I started analyzing some things, and I thought, you know what? The ratio that I've noticed so far on average here, and I have them pulled up, is about 3 to 1, man. I've noticed. And I thought it was worth kind of talking about a little bit. Combat Evolved, though, real quick before I get into it, with a $2 super chat. What is up, my friend? Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? There you go. Oh, trying to click it. There we go. I'm slowly pulling Desi and Bob Dylan into Exo-6 figures.
He is. He's messaging me all the time.
And thank you, my friend. And Bob Dylan with the $2 super chat as well.
Oh, here comes
Thank
the
you, my
Russian
friend.
reference.
Yeah. Was it Chekhov?
I don't know who's Chekhov.
Say yes.
Yes, surely. It was. It was.
Oh,
It was
Bobby
Chekhov.
D. Bobby D.
It was Chekhov. All right. Well,
It was.
thank you guys both for the super chats, man. That's funny, man. No. So that's what I was saying. Like, it's interesting because you can look at the pre-release, not the coming soon graveyard, but the pre-release. It's like 143 figures, man. And I was thinking about that because we keep seeing stuff, right? Like we saw the Moon Knight announcement, which we don't really need to talk to about. Everybody's gone through that on that, right? But we had the Moon Knight announcement, and then what did we have right before Moon Knight? You guys remember?
Loki, I think.
The classic Loki.
Classic Loki, and then right before that, I think there was another announcement, or, sort of. They hinted Electro, but they haven't like shown him yet, right?
That was the what was it?
The one from Eternals.
The KX.
Oh well, we had the KX announcement, sure, okay. The Eternals Gilgamesh, right, Joel?
Yeah.
And then what did we get? We got Ahsoka,
Mole.
Maul.
and then Maul, right? So if we're just looking at like maybe the past, 20, 30 days. So it's pretty damn crazy, right? We're getting so many like this. Like last year, it was like 60. I noticed last year the number was about 60 pre-orders. Now it's like 120, 130, and something to talk about. But hey, real quick, Dante, what is going on, man? Man, Collectibles says hello, guys. Making a quick stop. Hope y'all doing good. Everybody say hi. Let's wave to Dante. What's up, man?
He's baking.
Is he?
He's getting baked. What?
He's baking. He's baking a cake. No, he's baking.
He's just getting baked. I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
can I
man.
come?
That's pretty damn funny.
He's baking a cake.
Right. Jeez, yeah. Sean saying might be weird. Day 99 of 2022, and Hot Toys has not released one item scheduled to be released in 2022.
We're doing great.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on schedule.
Right on schedule, right? Yeah. And Graham's saying 3 to 1 seems conservative, feels more like 5 to 1. I know it's a little nuts. It's a little nuts, man. So I just kind of wanted to briefly touch on it. Dante says actually he is baking a cake. Today is his birthday.
It's your birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
I knew it.
Happy birthday.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I
also
believe it.
didn't know. I just threw it. I also don't think it's his birthday.
I don't think it's his birthday either.
It's not his
Because now everybody's gonna say happy
Not
birthday.
his
in the
birthday,
chat.
right?
Regardless, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Everyone
Happy
say
birthday.
happy-
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Which
Which
statue did you
statue did
order?
you order?
I know. I don't. Oh. Nah, man. I mean, so yeah, maybe a 5 to 1. I don't know. It's just it's getting a little. It's getting a little out of hand, guys. It's getting a little out of hand. So, yeah, I mean, so I don't know about you guys. I mean, unless it works for you. If it works for you, I know it does for some, but I don't. I've completely stopped pre-ordering specifically because it's just it's. There was a time where it wasn't so backed up, right? Where it felt like, okay, I'll pre-order this. That's not bad. There's not a whole lot out there. But now with so many, and this is just the back page. I tried to go back from like the oldest to now. And I know some of these are already out overseas, right? Like the Birds of Prey, you know, Wonder Woman. But still, like, I feel like it's a little too difficult, right? Because you start putting down these $20, $30, $40 pre-orders, and then you keep putting a whole bunch down, and then before you know it, you're getting hit with like massive, you know, there's these waves that come in, these surges where they're like, hey, we're shipping like 5 of your characters right now, you know, finish paying or whatever. Or on the flip side of the coin, things are just getting delayed so far back, you're like, shit, it's just really difficult. So I was just kind of wondering what your guys' thoughts were on that whole situation, really. Like, is this a cause for concern, or am I just kind of being dramatic about it? What do you think, Mario?
Yeah, I think for some, I think actually for a lot of collectors that I've seen, me personally, I'm one of those I can wait till it comes in kind of people. As long as it comes in, you know, my pre-order is locked. We talked earlier. I still tend to pre-order just because I want to ensure that I actually have it. When it comes out, it comes out. You know, it just gives me that much more time to actually pay it off, or, you know, or whatever. But yeah, man, they really need to get on the ball as far as knocking out this backlog. It's getting absolutely ridiculous, man. Still, I think, who was it? Leo was also talking about some of these figures that are in the figure purgatory right now that we haven't even seen. So you got those as well, you know. Yeah. So there's so many different things that's going on. I mean, for figures that haven't actually been pre-ordered yet, but they've been shown. All these different pre-orders that are out there, and like you say right here, it's a 3-to-1 aspect ratio, man. Or it's freaking crazy. Now I'm in the manufacturing, you know, and I know this won't happen, but typically what happens is that when you're late with your order, you know, so a lot of times a customer will demand some sort of discount or something like that, and they'll get it, you know. So why can't we be entitled for the same kind of thing, man? It's the same BS that Hot Toys and Sideshow is pulling, you know. They're giving us these promise dates, things fall behind, you know. Yeah, we understand things happen, you know. We're still kind of bouncing back from, you know, from what happened previously, but still, dude, it's just why are you? I think it would speak more, it would speak volumes if they actually started to release more rather than drop more pre-orders. You know what I mean? Just to show that they're actually they care about the collector even more, to start putting out everything that they've already have on pre-order, then start announcing more stuff. You know, so because the ratio between pre-orders and releases is absolutely out of control. So,
bro, look at this real quick before we go to Desi. I want to say this is pretty damn, like, I'm going through pages, right? Because there's so many. But somewhere right around here, wasn't that long ago, if you guys remember. Like, we were just talking about this coming out with What If, right? Yep. And we got 3 full pages of just they're just bombarded, right? We're like, oh, look, Back to the Future, what the hell, you know? And coming through, then the Carnage, like, it is just, dude, we're getting bombarded, man. And I guess I just gotta go down the line, man. But Desi, what are your thoughts on that, man?
You know what? I don't really know what to think. It's just last year, Echo was my last pre-order, which was May 4th of last year. So coming up on a year. Since then, I've just been placing orders as things come into stock or are about to come into stock at Sideshow. That's how I've been playing it. And I think that's the right way to go, at least for me. And behind Echo, I've got 4 orders that are just completely paid off, which was Ahsoka, Anakin, Django, and the 2-pack Boba, which I still haven't gotten. I'm still waiting for those 4. And then Echo, which I haven't paid at all. But beyond that, I'm just going to wait. Like, this used to be for me a kind of collect them all. Then it turned into just Star Wars. Then it's like, I can't even, with the amount of stuff that they're announcing, it's like, you know what? I'm just just gonna play it by ear. When it comes out, I don't have to worry about it selling out, right? So,
Right.
cool. I'm good. Like when it gets in, it gets in.
There are some cost babies in here. My apologies. Here, let's go to 6 scale figure. Either way, we brought it back down to over 100. So I mean, it's like it's still insane. Like, I mean, Joao, what is your thoughts, man? Because it's a little. I mean, it's still Hot Toys who's manufacturing though, regardless of distribution. So, is this a little bit of a shock to you on your end as well?
It's not as much as a shock, these delays on the releases, because if you see the time they announce, most of them, the time they announced, they didn't predict that the world were still as it is right now, and especially in the area where the Hot Toys factories are located, they are going into lockdown again, and we will see more delays, and we will have more troubles coming ahead. But even so, with these delays, and this happens a lot here. And I talk with you, for example, for the Spider-Verse figures, because they released the Spider-Man first, the suited one, and they released Gwen, as I remember. And when I knew that without Miles, most people I would wait on Gwen. I would wait on Gwen because I knew somewhere along the line she will drop on the price. And it's true, because now you can find Gwen for $150. Wow. And I will get Gwen now, and then I can get Miles after. Because I knew they will not release at the same time. And when one figure doesn't release in the same time, it will sit on stock, especially because you don't want to post Gwen alone. You want Miles to go together with her. So it's seated for so long.
Out a while back.
Yeah, and seated for so long that the price dropped a lot because no one wants her, because there's no Miles to pose together with her. And now, this happens a lot.
Is that the case with Marty? Would you know by chance?
Marty, no. And you know why? Because Marty was a limited edition. Marty in China was only available 300 pieces, was limited.
Oh, wow.
You guys over there, you have unlimited stock, but here in China was only 300 pieces, and Hong Kong I think was 400 or 500. I'm not sure, but I know in China were only 300 pieces. They sold out in 24 hours.
A bit different then. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now the Marty is going here around, in the local market in China, is going around 400, 450, because there were only 300.
Okay, well that makes okay. I didn't know that yet, because I would imagine it would be similar if it wasn't exclusive, right? You know what I mean? Because there's no dock, for the new ones, right? You're like, well, here, wait a year and a half for dock now. So like here,
but even so, dock is not delayed, because dock is scheduled for next year. I think first quarter. I think dock is for first quarter next year. It's different than what I was talking about, because the Miles already delayed. I think 20. I don't know, but delayed a lot. Miles should be out already, and some people they don't want to wait, and then the prices go down. And this happens a lot here. That's why I don't pre-order, because I know I will get figures lower than the retail price, unless they are difficult ones to get.
Well, and you can also, if they're not difficult for you, right, you can wait a little while for like a second batch and get them a little cheaper too.
Normally here you get 4 batches.
Okay.
Until finish up. So in the first batch the price will be higher, second batch will lower, third lower, and so on. You see now the 2-pack, the Boba 2-pack, it went down around almost $100 here already.
Damn.
Yeah.
Send me some.
Yeah.
I will send you some Star Trek for you to start collecting.
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad deal.
Oh no, Anthony sends to you.
Wait, me? No, you guys are the new Trek podcast, bro. You guys have to do the research, get the figures. Exactly.
Trekkers.
Right?
When does episode 1 drop, please? I'd like to...
Yeah, when?
I'm doing the logo now.
Oh. Oh, Jesus. Well, Fabio, man, what do you think, man?
Well, the only thing, I mean, that it comes to mind is, Hot Toys doesn't really care whether they're delayed or not, because I feel like if it was something that they were stressed out about or worried about, they wouldn't keep giving us, constant announcements, left and right if they're that delayed. And we know they're very delayed. You know what I mean? So it's not something that's really affecting them per se directly. Because again, if I had a deadline and, I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to make that deadline, I wouldn't be adding more work to myself. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense that they're doing that. But it's just the only thing that, comes to mind about that whole situation, which is weird to me. But, it's Hot Toys. So if they're doing it, that means they could get away with it.
Cash flow.
Well, let me ask you, do you guys think, am I crazy to think this, that maybe they're broke and maybe they have to pay a whole lot of the licensing fees or whatever the case is, and with the whole lockdowns the past year or two, just money hasn't been flowing as well, so it's like, let's keep churning out these announcements to collect pre-order money to kind of sustain ourselves, and unwittingly has like created this large backup? Or does that sound a little too far-fetched?
I think people No, I was gonna say I think people are pre-ordering less and less as time goes on. So I don't think if that's the strategy, I don't think it's gonna work.
I don't know if Hot Toys is broke, but I can assure you that there were two big distributors here in my area that filed bankruptcy after the Endgame figures, because they lost a lot of money on those figures. They invested a lot. They had a huge stock, and they had to sell at lower than the cost that it was to them, and then they filled and they closed shop. And they were bigger distributors here.
Oh, they weren't like really small ones. They were pretty
big.
Decent.
They had hundreds and hundreds of rockets, the endgame rocket, that they couldn't sell to anyone. No one wanted that even offer.
Should have sent them to me.
Rocket, Nebula, Star-Lord, all of those characters. It was a big hit for them.
Damn. Because it was just something I was thinking about, because I just didn't understand, like, I feel like the market for Hot Toys specifically is starting to crash or has already crashed. Mario and I were kind of talking about this a little earlier this morning. You feel like it's already kind of plummeted?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much already peaked. I mean, considering what we discussed about all of those, there seems to have been a lot of collectors that came in from the stimulus program, you know, and I've never seen it this busy. This collecting. I've been collecting since like late 2013, and before that time, there were some pre-orders where you have to jump on, where you did have to pre-order, or sometimes you weren't guaranteed the figure. Now it's like, you know, what we're talking about, you basically don't have to pre-order, you know, because you know they're just going to make so many. There's going to be so many out there that what's the point? Me, because my insecurities, you know, I won't really do that yet, but I kind of have been, considering that, like we were talking backstage also, you know, Desi and I, our last figures that we pre-ordered was Echo from the Bad Batch. You know, I still have yet to pick up, you know, all the other Star Wars releases that were announced after that, just because for me, I still got so many damn pre-orders to pay for still, you know? And so, yeah, it's like, I understand what's the point, but yeah, it's getting crazy.
Go ahead,
Desi.
I was just say it's a interesting wave, if you will. And I think you're right, Anthony. I think the bubble has burst. And Mario, you're right too. It's kind of based on the stimulus, I would think. I'm speculating. I don't know for sure. But thinking back to the beginning of 2021, where Cody, you know, was sold out after a couple of months, and all these characters, all these Hot Toys were selling out. So you can see why Hot Toys would have, you know, hit the accelerator and say, okay, let's, you know, Star Wars is super hot. Let's put out all these announcements, you know, because people are going to pre-order now because they've got cash in their pockets. And that's exactly what we're saying now. Now that cash is drying up maybe a little bit. So that bubble for collectibles, maybe not all collectibles, but a lot of collectibles is bursting. And now you've got this wave. Right now it's coming down. Now I'm starting to think, you know, are things going to start selling out next year? You know, because nobody's pre-ordering them. So when they finally come out in a year or two from now, like there's a short run. I don't know. It's interesting question.
Yeah, you definitely
well,
have to wonder that too, Desi, right? Because I mean,
Yeah.
the more that everybody stops pre-ordering, then I'm sure the manufacturer going to think, okay, there's not that much interest, so we're just going to create a minimum batch. And once that's gone, then all of a sudden there's going to be a sudden interest in that particular figure, and then it's going to be completely backwards.
It's
You
the
know, so
wave.
it's the wave, exactly.
I don't
Um,
know, like look at everything now. I'm saying to myself, like, oh well, who cares? Who's going to pre-order? Everything's in stock, and it's like, well, maybe it's because they said, oh, beginning of last year, Hot Toys said, well, look what everybody's ordering. Produced 3 times what we would normally produce, and then I don't know.
See,
So
who knows?
you think by not pre-ordering we are unknowingly creating limited releases?
No, I don't. It could be. I have
maybe
no
who
idea.
knows?
I have no idea.
Impossible. That would never happen because Hot Toys does not want that to begin with, and we know that because they're constantly reissuing stuff to kill the eBay market. So I don't think they're going to create any limited anything because they'll be working double then. Then that means that no matter what release they come out with, there's 1,000% going to be a reissue a lot sooner than it would be if they made their usual amounts. So I don't think they will go that way.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's here's the thing. I think it's a culmination of things. I think what happened was we had the pandemic, right, which severely crippled most of Asia initially. Manufacturing, distributing, right, shipping, everything, and we're still seeing the effects of that. But it was like compounded severely like 2 years ago, right? And they're still trying to recoup. I think there's that. I think there is the factor of here, at least in the States, as you guys have mentioned, stimulus collectors, year one collectors coming in, 2020 having a lot of money. That's a huge factor. And all that's tapped out now. And this is an expensive hobby. I think another issue is certain, there's influencers as well, right? Whether it's on YouTube or, TikTok or wherever, Instagram, influence. I mean, it literally is the word influence. You know what I mean? That can have a happen where people get into the hype and start buying up, and they don't even know sometimes why they bought it. They're like, oh yeah, okay, shit, I'm gonna lose this. This looks awesome. I'm buying it, right? And now people are selling it. Fabio knows firsthand. We see it all the time. Someone buys a new figure. A couple weeks later, they're trying to sell it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then on the fourth front, you have the Hong Kong resellers. Not retailers, because there's a difference, but the resellers, as you mentioned, are severely undercutting prices to try to pull in business. So now people are buying all this on top of the fact that maybe they're buying it because they've been influenced or whatever the case is, and they're buying it cheaper overseas, and then it's just creating this massive influx of more supply versus the demand, right? So now people can't even, I don't know how many people get a hold of me and are saying, hey, I'm trying to sell some of my figures or this or that. It's not like it was a couple years ago, right? We've seen it. Like Fabio, I know you've seen it too. There was a freaking, you name it. It's like cheap. It's cheap. 2099 Spider-Man was on a forum for $175.
Yeah, that's one figure too that went down a lot. And
sold out figure.
Quickly, yep.
So you know what I'm saying? I think it's a culmination of things that I don't think anybody really saw coming, but here I think we're at now, right? And like where Mario's saying, like maybe this is the moment where we're tits up, man. Shit collapsed. So,
but you only saw in the last 2 years some collectors, new collectors, that in 1 month, 2 months they will have 50 hot toys. It was just buying 50 figures in 1-2 months, and these. And they will get tired, and then they will leave because you cannot enjoy 50 figures in 1 month. You are just collecting for hype, nothing more.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, like, and even some of us, and I've said it myself, not so much collecting out of hype, but I've said it previously, where sometimes because I'm massively into Star Wars, primarily. So anything that comes out that's Star Wars, and Mario, Desi, especially you guys can attest to it. If it's Star Wars, we're more than likely buying the figure because it's Star Wars. And for me, it almost got to a point where you're right, Joel. It's like maybe not grabbing 50 in a month, but because you keep getting figures at a kind of a rapid pace sometimes, you know, because like I said, there's these weird storms where we get these surges and oh shit, 6 figures just came out, you know, 4 of them are Star Wars. It almost feels like I'm just putting away groceries. You know, I've said that sometimes. It's like there's no, you know, I didn't get the joy. I was like, okay, I got my figure, I unboxed it, okay, cool. This is Mandalorian series. It's going on my Mandalorian shelf. And then, you know, store the box away and then, you know, on to the next. And
that sucks that it's like that, man, because these figures are so heavily detailed, man. And for as much as we're paying for these things, it's
But
a
that's
shame
this
that
kind
that
of-
we treat them
yeah.
like that.
But it's this kind of collectors that after 1 month, when they go through their display, they will think, oh, this doesn't say anything to me. I'm just going to sell it. Because they never appreciate the figure for start. They just bought it because it was from a TV show or because you see many posts on Facebook sometimes, people using a poll. Which figure should I buy? The Spider-Man, the Darth Maul, or
It's true.
That's 100% true. We all see that. And it's not to knock you guys out there if any of you in the chat do that, but it's like, hey, listen, buy figures that you want. I get asked that. I still to this day get asked that question. Oh, should I get Maul or should I get Ahsoka? It's like, well, wait a minute. I can't answer that for you, bro. Like, what, you know, I would say get both because it's Star Wars and, you know, but if you can't afford it and you can only get one, it's kind of like, don't listen to my opinion because you may really love Darth Maul. So to me, I'd be like, well, get my Darth Maul, right? Or if you're like Ahsoka's
at this moment, you have enough content on on YouTube, on internet that you can see what the figure looks like, and you can decide by yourself if it's worth or not. But you have a good comment here from Valiant Archer. He's a new collector, and his comment is quite accurate.
It is. He says, I'm relatively new collector, maybe 3 years. And I've seen newcomers put up posts showing how they bought more figures in a few months than I have in a few years.
Yeah.
And that's true.
That's a fact, yeah.
I was to say, I mentioned that when we spoke, Anthony, I think it was on our one-on-one where I've been collecting since 2007. That's when I started with Hot Toys, and people come in and like within a year or two, they have more figures than I do, which is awesome. Trust me, I'm really happy for you. Just hopefully you're not selling them, within a year.
Right. That's the thing, and CT 603, I understand what you're saying. People are just looking to talk and ask your opinion. Totally. Is it a good investment? Material's good. That I get. And it's not like
that we understand. We are not talking about that.
It's not to just dismiss somebody. Oh, I don't care. It's not like that. It's just, I don't know what you really like, because at the end of the day, like, we can nitpick Hot Toys, and I'm speaking specifically the brand Hot Toys. We can nitpick them all day, but I mean, there's not really a bad Hot Toy release, right? There's a couple like that maybe aren't that great. In which case, with enough research, you can be like, well, this one's, but even then that's difficult, right? Because like last year, my least favorite figure of the year was the Armorer, but she's still an amazing figure. So it's hard to even come up with that kind of list, because then people say, oh, well, then that's negative. That's your worst figure. I don't want to get her, right? And it's like, no, that's not what I mean. It's just out of all the figures I picked up, for example, she was a bit lackluster, but she's still a great figure. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult to give somebody an opinion that your thoughts may be completely different than theirs. You know what I mean?
Especially for a figure that you will run you maybe $300 or $280 or something like that.
Right. It's tricky, so it's, again, I think it's a big culmination of things, and Fabio and I talked as well, since Desi was talking about, like, when we did our one-on-one, and Fabio and I were talking one-on-one, like, because you've been in it for so long too, that, like, as we mentioned prior, like, in the beginning, it was like there weren't very many figures. So when something came out, it was like, oh shit, I got to pick this up, because it's on to the next, and who knows, it'll probably never come. And if it does, it's going to come like 5, 6, 7 years from now, if they ever decide to 2.0 it or reissue it. But now it's like, and I get that, because it could be like habit forming, right? Well, I'm just so used to it. I'll pre-order this. I got a system. I know how this works. I just keep my money the way it goes, and I got my figures coming the way I get them. But now with everything being so extremely flooded, it's like, I see zero reason to get into a hype situation where you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to miss this figure. I have to get it. I have to get it. Now, if you're a fan and you happen to have the money, then sure, if you really want to go get it like day one, right? Overseas or something. But there's no foreseeable reason to do that, right? Because I know there's some people that spent $600, $700, $800, right, on a Boba 2-pack overseas. And it's like, if you can afford it and you really, really want that, cool. But did you get it because that's why? Because you really, really, really want it and you don't mind spending the money? Or, you know, is it because you feel like it's going to miss out? Because Joel, you already said it, right? I mean, that's already cheaper over there now, right?
Let me just make here now it's at around $390.
$390.
$395, let's say.
Crazy.
Around that.
Wow.
And it's not selling out anytime soon.
No, because the last batch already arrived here and is sitting there in stock.
And I've always been personally like I've been okay with people paying hundreds of dollars to get a figure early, like as long as Anthony, like you said, as long as they can afford it. Because if you think this is expensive, I mean, think about the car market. People are paying $100K over asking price on some sports cars because they want it now. They don't want to wait
Right.
2 years. Like, and people make fun of those people, and it happens in every hobby, right? And I'm just like, dude, if you've got the money and you know you know it, like you're in this hobby, you know you're spending hundreds of dollars more than you should just to get it one day earlier.
Mhm.
Cool, man. If you've got the money, just hopefully you don't have to sell the figures.
Yeah, but here's, and I want to bring this up because this is a perfect example here, is Fabio. Fabio's been collecting for like, I'm just going to round it and say 10 plus years. That's a fair assessment?
Yeah.
Okay. And you usually get your figures from Sideshow.
Usually.
Never
Oh,
had an...
when I started, it was different. I didn't even know Sideshow existed, so everything was either eBay, or actually 99% of everything was eBay in the beginning.
Right. But once the Sideshow came through, my whole point I was trying to drive home is the fact that, like, you get everything you want. You get every figure. Sometimes you get multiples, right? Never ever had a fear that this was like, oh God, I have to get this right now. It's going to sell out. Like, you've gotten pretty much everything except a couple that you may have forgotten.
No, so what happened, the reason why I started getting multiples to begin with was because in the beginning, when I first started, once I found out about Sideshow, I would order the one figure. In the groups, there were a lot of, people customizing these figures and changing them up and they were doing a lot of custom work to these figures. So I have, maybe 2-3 figures that I got custom work for. And so I started getting doubles for that reason. But what happened was when I would go back to try to get a second one, it would be sold out. So I was like, wait a minute. And then I would have to go back on eBay, pay, whatever it was going for. So I said, you know what? Let me just start getting doubles or, triples right off the bat so I don't have to ever worry about it selling out. And like I've said, many times before, I'll never have to, if I don't pre-order anything, I'll be fine. I know for a fact I'll be fine. But out of just habit at this point, I just do it just to get it out of the way, to know that they're there. The payments will come out of my credit card. I don't ever have to think about it. So that's
right. You're just in this familiar cycle. Like, it's
just, set it and forget it type mentality. You know what I mean? So that's why I got so used to it. But I started ordering, doubles. It was for that reason. They would sell out that much quicker. Within, a couple of months, it would be gone, like completely gone. And it's like, oh my God, what the hell did I do? So I was like, you know what? Let me start getting just 2. Then it got to, let me start getting 3. And now it's just, whatever I feel like getting, it is what it is. But it's just convenient for me,
Yeah, and that's what I figure. It's out of convenience, it's not out of, oh, this figure just came out, I have to get it right now. And
no. I don't ever, like I said, I will never, years ago in the beginning, absolutely. When I wanted a second one and I, chose to not get it, not thinking that it would sell out. That's when I would really, oh man, I can't believe I didn't get my second. Not that I ever missed a figure that way, but I missed a lot of second figures that way. So I just said, you know what, whatever comes out, if I feel like I'm going to use a second or a third, which I have, open. I have, I think I ordered 6 Mark 50s. I ordered 4 85s. I ordered 4 battle damage. So So
Feels hard, bro.
No, and
Wow.
so I have about at least three of the Mark 50s open displayed right now. So I use them, and so I just order them right away just for that, just to have them. And for whatever reason, they make a an accessories pack for whatever reason, for any figure, I have a spare to use it with. You know what I mean? Instead of having to go now back to eBay, trying to figure out a figure that's not $500, $600, $700. So it's just for convenience now.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And I get that, and I totally get that. And MandalorianHuntress, hello. I'm here for my Mafia Fix. Excellent panel and chat tonight. Of course. Yeah, I mean, it's who soloed me? Mario, because Mario has control. I gave Mario. Mario's got a seat.
I don't know,
Mario's
man.
got a seat.
I'm just trying to,
What?
take care of their fix. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, taking care of the fix.
just take care of the fix, my guy.
This guy. All right, well, the fix is here. Hey, look, I've got some Darkside here too. Yeah, man. So let's get back to it. This guy. Yeah, dude, it is crazy. It is absolutely insane. Hey, Jedi Knight is saying Fabio is the king.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, man. Get this man to a clinic. Yeah, dude. But that's the beauty of it, right? Because we really get whatever we want to get, and it's not a fear of missing out, right? Because it's just insane. I feel like like you guys are saying, like the market is now so oversaturated that it's okay to like not buy something day one or to get that pre-order in unless it's something very specific, right? Like for example, the 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐷 that's limited. You need to get something in on that. I think we'd probably all agree on that because you missed that. You're like, oh man, I really don't want to miss that. But for a figure like this Clone Wars Ahsoka is not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be sitting for quite a while. So just pick up at your leisure. That's kind of where I was saying. I mean, I was always like, you don't really necessarily get into that hype, right? Because that's, we all do it too in ways. We'll talk about things, we get excited about things, but it doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, you gotta go get this right now. You know what I mean? It's gone. It's, I mean, what the hell was the last thing? Like Heavy Infantry Mando, I think was the last thing that actually like hit waitlist before it was even in stock. And that's rare. Like that's extremely, extremely rare. And if you're already in groups and things of that nature, right, you get notices, right, from people. Oh, hey, so-and-so figures blue screened. If you're at Sideshow, right? Like it's low stock. Maybe now's the time I should get in on it. At least that was kind of my thoughts on it. Were you gonna say something, Mario? Sorry.
No, I remember they did that with IG-11 too. I mean, they kind of try to bring on that blue screen hype. And then I guess some people were freaking out, and then next thing you know, it's still sitting in stock. So it's kind of hard to gauge whether or not, even if the blue screen thing is actually true, because you never know if they're going to actually drop a second batch.
I don't, yeah, because Pennywise, right? That
Pennywise,
yeah. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean they're just getting another shipment? Either way, you should just buy what you like, right? That's the general. Yeah. That's the general rule. Like for half of us, it's mostly Star Wars. So it's kind of messed
for
up.
example, Star Wars, I never thought that Lando would sit in stock for so long, and Lando is.
Dude, me neither.
It's everywhere, still sitting in stock.
Well, that's what I think.
Sounds like the Darkside Anakin. Remember? That sat in stock forever too.
That's why I say it comes in waves. Like it's a mix of everything. Back then it was because of what happened with Last Jedi, right? And people were upset, and people weren't. And now it's another wave of something else. The pandemic and too many pre-orders, and it's going back to last year. That's why they were mentioning in the comments that a lot of YouTubers were saying, "Hey, trying to build hype and saying, hey, order now because it's going to sell out." It's like, well, that's what the pattern was showing. Like everything was selling out. We just mentioned Heavy Mando. But now, if you go about halfway last year and going into Q3, that's when the YouTubers started saying, start watching out. Like, maybe this will sell out, maybe it won't. Then by Q4, people are like, hold your horses. It might not sell out, so don't pre-order. So it comes in waves, and people try to adapt.
I think the Remnant Trooper also sold out, right?
The Remnant Trooper went kind of quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do remember that.
Super fast.
Yeah. Incinerator Trooper was pretty quick too, if I recall. Maybe not as quick as Remnant, but it was
not that quick. But it sat for a little bit, but it did eventually sell.
Remnant flew up. Remnant, and what was the other one from Solo? The Mud Trooper.
The Mud Trooper.
Sold out super fast too.
Yeah, that's one that hit waitlist before it even went into stock.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the Patrol Trooper didn't sit too long, if I remember.
Yeah, Patrol Trooper was pretty quick too.
Yeah, it's a little nuts. But now, like, as these things kept hitting, though, right? It's like there's just so much. So I just feel like if you want to pre-order, you know, like you said, Fabio, you pre-order, that works for you. You know, I'm not trying to tell people, hey, don't pre-order, but don't pre-order to think like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss this figure.
Yeah, it's not. If you pre-order, you're pre-ordering just to know that your figure is there. It's not that you're gonna miss out on the figure, because you're not. There's no, and you know, like I said, back then, all I knew was eBay, and then after eBay was Sideshow. You know, obviously, also a Big Bad Toy Store. You know, little places, there's websites here and there, but you know, very, very limited. Now you could literally buy figures everywhere. You know what I mean? They're very, very, very well known that there are many, many websites to order from. So, you know, there's no rush for anything. I choose to do that because of my own personal stuff, but you know, there's no way that you're going to miss out on a figure if you don't pre-order. Absolutely.
Right.
Unless they tell you there's a 3-day pre-order window. Then you got to do what you got to do.
you want
Let's not go there.
He's poking.
Then you got to not pay you got to not pay your rent for the month to be able to pre-order.
I know what you're doing, Mario.
Well,
you're poking the bear, man.
Me never. No.
I know.
No. How dare
Can
you?
Can you imagine if the next figure comes out? Listen, see, he got me. Imagine if the next figure comes out and they're like, "Hey, 3-day pre-order window." Are you guys gonna believe that?
Oh, I will.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say.
I'm with you.
But if I'm sure I'm gonna pick that figure up, I'm just gonna get it either way, regardless if it's a 3-day window or not. You know, so
I have to, because if I don't pre-order in that 3-day window, my chance is gone. Because here in China, Queen Studios did the 3-day pre-order window. That was the only option you had. The pre-orders never reopen.
But yet they magically did. At least through like
except
9
in
retailers.
China.
Yeah, but they're all from China. Like all the resellers. You know what I'm saying? That all just
but I don't want to pay their prices because I can buy it cheaper.
well, sure, of course, for money, yeah. Mario, we're gonna address the chat here. We're gonna move on from that poke there. JB Beats asks, "What about third-party figures? Do you prefer those because they make way less of them?"
Pre-order, not prefer.
Do you pre-order? Yes. Do you pre-order those? Well, that's a good question. I mean, do we all? I don't pick up a whole lot of third-party figures, but when I do,
it's a good question for Big Brita.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I will lock it in if I really want to, or if I really want it because of that. And Joao, you'd probably agree on that, right?
Yeah, because actually at this moment here, the wise thing is to invest on third parties, because they know they can. Third parties normally always sell much higher after they sold out. Happened with Gambit, and happened with Dismars, the Limb toys when go out, the Arthur Morgan. Even if the second batch now is almost double price, and the Joker, this last one, the Jack Nicholson, the price went up a lot. Third parties is always better to pre-order.
Yeah.
Even if they are crap, then you can sell them easily.
Yeah, because I know for a fact I deal with obviously Kit Chen, 1/6 and if I don't pre-order with him, he never has any stock of any figures. Like
Kit never has stock. Right. Maybe has 1-2 pieces.
I was gonna say, unless somebody cancels, and then he'll have a spare or two, but usually he doesn't carry. So I always pre-order my stuff with him right away, because if I don't, I'm out. And I mean, unless obviously I go searching for other websites to buy from, but I don't. I just buy directly from him.
Gambit now is almost $450, and it was when you got it for $180 or something like that.
And this relates back. Oilers Workshop was saying kind of the same thing that I was saying, that look, the pre-orders may start to dry up. It's just speculation on my end, but like this makes sense. You know, yes, there is a balance where, if Hot Toys decide, well, there's not that many orders, we're going to cut down on POs, they can't just cut down extremely because they still have to amortize the cost of the tools and everything across all a certain amount of production. I get that, but like you would think that they would cut down. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. I tend to agree with that, but I don't really know.
Yeah, but what happens next year? Okay, so if we're looking at, you know, minus the it's just 6 scale, right? 104 right now. So by the end of the year, okay, let's say it's January 1st. Let's give it let's just conservatively say 20 of these 104 got released. So then that number would have gone down to 84, right? But from now until January 1st, how many announcements are we going to get? So when we roll around to this time again next year, will that number be 104? Or will that number be 140? You see what I'm saying? Where it's it's climbing way higher, and I don't know what that means.
Or maybe maybe that's it. Maybe it's bringing down the ratio. So instead of like, okay, they continue everything that's on PO right now. They produce the same amount they've been producing, just like they did for Endgame. I mean, that would be strange to me, but they keep doing that. But on the other end, they just don't announce many things. You'll get fewer and fewer announcements, bringing that ratio closer together as we go into next year. That's also an option. The only reason I was going towards the latter, where it's like, okay, they start cutting the PO numbers, is, I mean, we've all been mentioning it. Joel, you just mentioned that 2 places near you like closed their doors because of all the stock they had from Endgame. If that continues to happen with other franchises like Star Wars because the bubble burst, then how many other places are going to close their doors and not order stock from Hot Toys? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't even know if I'm thinking like the logical way, but it's just weird to me.
I agree. And Oiler's Workshop here, that brings an interesting point too. It says, or if hype collectors leave now, the figures will have shorter production runs, and those that are left versus lower figures will be the rebalance, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, right? Because I know a lot of people, and this is actually, you know, this is a question I want to ask you guys. Because I'm sure you guys talk to a lot of people within the community. Do you have anybody ever message you and say, hey, I'm out. I'm selling all my stuff. I'm no longer collecting. Have you guys ever gotten any messages like that?
Every week, twice or 3 times.
Like legit though, or you like just fucking
No,
around?
here in China, every week there's people going out. And I have most at this moment, you know, for what? For statues. Many people that left Hot Toys and moved to statues, they went crazy on J&D, Queen Studios, Prime 1, and they are now selling them out. I was talking with Bob Dylan yesterday. I have a friend that he has to sell about 6 statues from Queen Studios and 2 from J&D. And I was considering getting the best from Queen Studios, the Joker, the 1-to-1, because he said at this moment he said he needs money. He need to get rid of the collection. But these are those collectors that here in China happens a lot. Between 1 month, 2 months, they buy maybe 6 statues, which is a huge investment, and then they go out.
Damn.
Statues
So
are
that's
money,
just for
man.
Statues.
Because they don't pre-order, they go to buy stock.
Y'all see
Oh,
Bob
they
Dylan's
just okay.
comment? Man's a
The
savage.
younglings.
If your friend DM me.
Well, you know, either way, I mean, statues kind of similar. I mean, even though here, you know, it's more 6 scale, but that's the same principle applies, right? Like people get into it, like, you know, Desi was saying, Fabio, others, you know, that all of a sudden somebody's showing, hey, look at all these figures I bought, and you're like, damn, like, you bought way more than I bought in like a long time, over years or something, right? And then they burn out or whatever the case is, and then they're out. And then what happens is they try to offload all their stuff. Market's just not going good for anybody right now, and it's insane. Like I was talking to, who was I speaking to? I don't recall. They were trying to sell some figures, and I was like, yo, like you're not even gonna get retail, sadly, right? Because even if you were to try to sell it for retail, and you go on service, you know, eBay, Mercari, wherever, you know, even if you list it at retail, they're gonna take, you know, 15%, you know, eBay or whatever. Then they're gonna take, you know, your PayPal cut, you know, then whatever. Maybe you make them pay for shipping. Who knows? Whatever. But you're taking a loss. So now I got a lot of people messaging me and being like, "What do I do with these figures?" And I'm like, "Well, you keep them, or you know, you take a hit, and that's life, you know." And I don't know if, and not everybody's like that, but I know a lot of people got into it because they were like, "Oh, they're gonna retain value, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna become like an investment to me, right?" And that's, you've heard me say it time and time again, man. That's the wrong game. You know, there's better, these are toys. Like, let's remember, they're mass-produced toys.
They'll retain their values once they sell out. But again, I just see all these new people coming in and end of 2020, beginning of 2021, saying, okay, and thinking exactly what you were saying, Anthony. Like, these are going to retain their values and go up, and maybe I can even flip them quick. But what they didn't realize is that there were so many people like them coming in, and then all of a sudden Hot Toys sees this, starts producing a lot more, then it takes forever to sell out as they themselves come out of the hobby. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to...
The figures retain the value if you can hold to them for years.
Yeah.
It's not to buy them and sell them after you want to sell them after 1 month. If you retain them for 5-6 years, the value will retain and even will probably most of the times go up. But it's different, you know. One thing is the way you treat your collection. For example, people like Desi or Fabio, or maybe us, because we collect for some time and we have a collection that we are growing slowly by slowly, and we add figures here, add figures there. Other thing is when you get a bunch of them in one time, maybe you will not, maybe I'm wrong, but I think you will not appreciate each one. You will not have the same enjoyment as growing a collection slowly. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining myself well. It's just, if you get 60 figures in 2 months, maybe you will not enjoy each of them the same as if you're growing the collection slowly. So that's why I always say you should try to grow slowly your collection, because you will not get, maybe you will get burned out if you get 60 figures in 1 month or 2 months.
It looks
cool.
Too
much.
It looks cool in a picture, but in real life, it's like, do you really get to appreciate them all at once like that? Not really.
Right. Well, that's the other thing where we see sometimes, you know, people get into it, they buy a figure, or they'll day one buy it just to, like, I don't have anything near me, but just to be like, hey, look, I got it. You know what I mean? And nobody cares. I'm not trying to be harsh.
Nobody cares. No one cares.
True. I say that to everybody. Anybody who ever asks me, they message me a lot asking me, you know, what should I get? Should I get this? What do you think of this? Don't, you know, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It's whatever you like. It's whatever you like. Nobody, and I tell them exactly what you just said. I tell them, at the end of the day, nobody cares what you got but you. So you shouldn't be asking anybody what you should get. If you like it, get it. Don't worry about what other people want to get. If it's hyped, if it's not, it's up to you. You're the one paying for it, so do whatever you want with it. But same exact thing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you have. You know, yeah, it's cool to look at if you have it displayed nice. Even if you don't, it's just, you know, I specifically love looking at anything, you know, any collection. I don't care. I it's just who I am. But you know, nobody cares. At the end of the day, nobody cares but you, because you're the one who's got to walk by it all day, every day. So you're the one who's got to enjoy it, like it, appreciate it, and pay for it.
Yeah, that's the whole point I'm trying to get at as well. FigFate. No, you know what? But what it means is, like, let's break it down. Like, let's say what just came out of Ahsoka, right? So let's say you bought Ahsoka day one, Hong Kong, just to go on Facebook groups or Instagram and show the picture, right? For some kind of validation or something like that. That's the wrong.
No one will feel happy for you.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get. Where I'm like, nobody cares, right? But if you really want it, right, and you're buying it for you, like Fabio's saying, that's all that matters. Because all those little likes on Facebook or wherever else is not paying for your figure. You know what I mean? So be like, oh, that looks cool. That's a really good photo. But you know, you could have showed me that 4 months from now, and I would have been like, wow, that's really cool, or something, right? You know, it's so. I feel like there's a lot of people that do get into doing that, and then all of a sudden they're like, all right, and then they try to sell it, and they're like,
they like the excitement of, you know, the attention of the likes and the comments on their pictures, and which is cool. But you're spending a lot of money for likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's problematic in my opinion, because again, as we said, don't collect as an investment. Because even back in the day, I'm sure we've all kind of felt that to a point where we were like, hey, these figures do retain some value, and they actually go up in value, which they were for a period of time, but that's not the case anymore. So you have to like get that out of your head and say, I'm buying these to invest. It's just bad. And secondly, and I found this out, again, just the past couple of weeks ago, with Queen. Yeah, they didn't say it, and I'm not going to get too into it, but, 3-day window, first figure is, screams exclusivity, right?
Yep.
Limited.
So very limited. And then you find out that's not the case. So at the end of the day, if this figure is not stamped with numbered, right, it's not exclusive, period. And nothing is in 6 scale. So knowing that, and being like, hey, listen, I get these figures because I love the IP. I love the scale. I love doing whatever I do. Well, if it's displaying them, taking photos of them, doing reviews on them, just appreciating them for what they are. That's all you individually, right? All of us individually have our own flavors and styles and tastes, and that's it. So you can't look at it like I'm rich. Nah, dude, you're not. You're collecting pieces of plastic that people are having problems trying to sell right now. Right? So like, it's just get it if you love it, right? That's what Fabi was just saying earlier. It's like, just get it because you want it. That's it.
Can you imagine, like, an example? Can you imagine me like doing this out of like competition or like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have been gone years ago. You know what I mean? Like, I would have been like, I can't do this, but I don't do it for that. Like I've always said, everywhere I collected for myself. I didn't collect for anybody. Nobody knew what I had for years because I wanted it that way. So, that's why I always tell, I'm not going to tell somebody else, go do something different than what I did. I tell them exactly what I did. Do it for you. You like it, go for it. You don't like it, don't buy it. That's it. It's very simple. Because again, you're letting somebody else dictate what you do with your money. You know what I mean? And it's over hype, no less. It's not even over anything else but that. It's not because of, the character special or because of, it's either a movie just came out, a show came out. That's it. So, it's kind of depressing if you think about it. You got to be told what to buy to enjoy it.
It's horrible. Like, big example, like the Batman, right? The Batman just comes out, and okay, you may like the movie, you may not like the movie, and you look at the figure and you're like, oh, this is great. And then a year and a half, 2 years later, do you still feel the same way about that figure or that movie? You know what I'm saying? And did you buy it because you're like, oh, that looks great, I need to get it right now? And then you're like, damn. Okay, it finally came out. Yeah, that movie was cool a couple years ago, but do I still connect to it now? And what happened in these 2 years? Did I pick up more other figures, and now do I not have room, or am I just not feeling it? That's like another reason why I was saying that. But Mario, you said you have to get going, bud?
Yeah, man, I gotta take care of something real quick, man, and yeah, it's gotta step out, unfortunately. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. It was
of course,
a pleasure
brother.
to chat with everybody in here, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow morning, right, or tomorrow afternoon, rather.
Yeah, I think we'll be
back.
We should be doing that. So if you guys haven't already, check out Mario El Professoro. His link is in the description of the channel, man. I know you got to get going, so not a problem, bro.
All right.
And we'll talk soon.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, bud. All right,
Take
take
care,
care, brother. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, man. That shit's wild, dude.
Good topic.
No, it is. It was something I thought, was kind of important, because as I was looking at this, I'm like, dude, it's getting a little crazy, and it's all that whole culmination of everything, right? Like what we were talking about, this, with the pandemic, this and that, blah, 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 and the influencing and the overstock. It's just like shit, and all these people coming in, new collectors, and oh, I really got to get it, and then oh shit. So really, it all comes down to just get what you want and make sure you really want it, because you're not going to really retain value from it. And don't come into it with value, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you want it. If it retains value, goes up in value, that's cool. That's a nice aside, but this is not a good investment.
Yeah, exactly. Buy for fun, right? Yep. Don't buy for value, and
yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
One thing, with me, I have never gotten, whether it's bored of a figure or like you just said, like, oh, like, why did I get this? Never. I constantly, when I'm down here, I go through every case sometimes. I look at all the figures. Sometimes I turn on the because I have a really dark corner over there. So I turn those on so I can look at those because in the corner you really don't. I never really go back there. But to be able to like, you know, look at them again, and because I got what do I have back there? I think I have Fight Club and another few figures back there. And you know, so I get to look at them, I get to enjoy them, I get to actually appreciate them all the time. It's not just like I just have them and then, oh, fuck you, that's it. You know what I mean? I like, you know, I enjoy my collection, I enjoy the figures. And that's why, you know, it comes off like I just collect anything and everything. No, I pick and choose what I want, but I get what I really, really like. And, you know, it turns out that I just really, really like Hot Toys. So, you know, it is what it is. I get everything they make pretty much because I really like how they, you know, how they make their figures. I really like, you know, how they design stuff. I really like everything about them. So that's why I don't, you know, there's nothing about collecting to me that bothers me. Obviously, you know, the delays, like, who cares? Like, we all got to wait. So what's the big deal? You know, so it is what it is.
Right. The wait is there no matter what. Like, no matter what. So, and I don't understand that as well. Like,
Well, I bring that up because a lot of people complain, and we know that a lot of people complain about the delays. But they complain about the delays not because of, you know, not having the figure sooner. I feel like it's because of the money being out there. You know what I mean? So it's not even about the actual figure not being in hand. It's more like I could be doing something else with my money type complaint. You know what I mean? So it's not even, if you really think about it, it's not even about collecting to begin with when they complain about delays. So That's why that doesn't bother me at all, because the figure will be here when it'll be here. You shouldn't be in a rush to I mean, unless you play with the figure, you shouldn't be in a rush to go, you know, grab your figure out of the box and put it in the on a shelf in the case. You know what I mean? You should want it because you can't wait to really enjoy and appreciate it while you have it in hand. Not, oh my God, this got to be delayed. Where's my money? You know what I mean? That's what, you know, is a different angle too.
That's a huge angle, right? Because we all know that there's a delay, right? No matter what. So now it's like, do you just ride it out and wait, or are you trying to get it overseas just because you want it like right now? And again, if you can afford it, by all means do it, but don't do it under the pretense that you feel like you're going to miss out on the figure, because then you're just giving away money, right? Which could otherwise go to further fund your collection. Real quick, I do want to note here with Victor asking, is the Hellboy contest still in motion? Yes, absolutely. In fact, just so I could segue it, if for those who don't know, my channel members, if you're a channel member, on the last week, here, it's right here. I actually just got it in. On the last week of this month, I will be doing this Hellboy giveaway. It's right here, ready to go. This was gifted to me as part of giveaway for the channel, for the members. So again, if you are a channel member, you have a chance of getting that at the end of the month. And that's really it. That's a wrap on that one. So yes, sir, it's still happening.
Amazing.
I thought you said you were going to give me that.
No. I think you misheard me. I have Hellman, or whatever it's called.
Hellman's mayo?
Hell guy or something. Yeah. No, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, so that's going to channel members, man. So if you guys want to be a part of the channel, doesn't matter. You can do the first tier if you want. If not, you know, we'll be doing that drawing probably. I have to check the date, but the last weekend of April, we're going to be doing that, man. And Victor Creed has just became a member. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much for the support. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. So stay tuned on that, guys. Just checking through some of the chats here, man. Yeah, it's crazy how everybody, you know, we all click differently, right? And I think that's where it comes down to, man. Like, if you want your figures now and you can afford them, go ahead. But again, don't do it just because. It doesn't make any sense. You're just burning away, man. You're burning away. But we can move on from that. That's a good topic, man. But the last topic I wanted to talk about tonight, if I can find it, is how do you display your figures, right? Because I know some people have asked me, like what do I have, for example, right? And like I built custom garage shelves, you know, with acrylic and lights and stuff like that. Whereas, you know, some people get, you know, what the Billies or Bestas or Detoffs, or does it come to a point where, do you feel like you guys evolve your display? And do you also try to make it really, really like fancy, or is it just kind of more practical that, hey, I just have somewhere to house my figures? Let me start with you, Desi, on that one, man.
Yeah, so I guess somewhere in between for me. You know, I still have D12s. I've got 15 D12s. So eventually I have to get Moji cases. I've said before, I think the best display is a D12 with one figure in it and per shelf, but that's not practical for people who are in the game for a long time, because then you just can't do that. You don't have the space, as much space as you have. So Moji cases are the way to go. So I'll eventually go there. And the Moji cases will fit the dioramas I make better for myself. I like to make base toppers and dioramas, so it's just going to work better. But for me, I'd have to get enough enough Moji cases to replace 15 D12s, because I don't want to do it slowly. That's just the way I go, all in or not. So yeah, but
I meant it's not fair that you get to make your own fucking bases and we don't.
But tutorials. Check out my channel. No.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, and it is a matter of space too, right? I mean, like with Joel, you have yours is kind of custom, isn't it?
Yeah, this cabinet that I have here in my back and I have other in my front. This was when we moved to this home. I built this room only for my collection, but at that time I was collecting a 7-inch. I was not collecting hot toys. This cabinet was built purposely for. I was collecting Masters of Universe, Turtles, those lines. So happened that each layer I still can fit 1/6 scale, and this is not my final display. I'm still working out with module case, because at this moment they only can ship to me by air freight, and the air freight cost is almost triple the price of the module cases I have planned already with them. So I can only wait.
And D-Tops went up, and they're $80 now too.
D-Tops were never available here anyway. I never have D-Tops, and there is no option for D-Tops. So I have many things in boxes still until I finish up the setup for the room. But module case is the way to go. I think there is no better option at this moment.
I agree. I do, and that's something that I'm looking into. Speaking of, I have it here right now, and I know Fabio, you think that's something you're thinking about maybe making a switch to as well?
Yeah, I never thought that I would. You know, I'm happy with the layout. I love how the details look. I just, that overcrowded look is, you know, getting a little like out of hand right now. So I'm looking into the module cases. I mean, like as you said, is the best. That's the best display. Specifically for me, because I don't, you know, have any single figures just sitting there. You know what I mean? So any module case that I get, it's gonna get filled immediately. So I need to figure out, which I've said before. I messaged them already. I sent them a video. I sent you the video so you could see what I sent them. So I just got to send them the measurements in and then go from there. But I definitely have to look into it.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the great thing about it, right? Within the name, I mean, it's modular, but it's that turnaround is you know, you'd think we'd be used to it though, right? With hot toys, you know, waiting for things, but I think they're the way to go too. Like, if you don't want to get module cases, like for initially, like for what I did, and I'm gonna make a video probably on it, but I just buy these garage shelves, and then I paint them, and I do my own lights. I decided to go with spotlights in mine. I probably should put some LEDs in there because, you know, you can see them in the back here, but the spotlights.
But you cover them. Cover them completely. You cover them with acrylic.
Yeah. So I bought if the shelves that I have are 6 feet by 3 feet, and they make acrylic that's exactly 6 feet by 3 feet. So I bought 2 white pieces of acrylic that are on the back, and I just double-sided. I Velcroed it on the back. And then
Okay.
on the sides and then the front, I haven't done it yet. I was going to put the clear acrylic to just seal it up, because all
Okay.
sides would be Velcroed. So it's like, it's pretty much dust free. You know, I mean, nothing's getting through all that Velcro. And again, you know, and I painted it and made it all kind of nice. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think one shelf would cost me somewhere between $400 and $500 for the whole big shelf, if doing it the way I did it. But at the same time, it was fun. It's something, you know, that you can build on your own and customize the way you want to customize, and you don't have to wait. So that's cool, you know, but it's just as an alternative. Like, that's what I did it. Now I'm still going to be picking up Moji cases, but this was a nice project to do and set up exactly how you want.
Yeah, and I also want to say, thanks to Bob Dylan. He sent me a lot of information on their stuff too. So, thank you.
Yeah, to me also. He sent me a lot of photos and info about module cases because he knows about his stuff. He really knows about his stuff. But one thing yet, you know, about the new collectors that we are talking, they need to be careful when approaching module cases, because you need to wait 1 year, and if after 1 year you are no longer collecting hot toys, you will stay with module cases. You stay with module cases for nothing, and it's a huge investment. Because I know some collectors in the groups that they order module cases, and when the module cases arrived, they were no longer collecting hot toys.
Oh my
And
God.
then they were trying to sell the module cases because the wait is long. Maybe 1 year you need to wait for module cases.
What if you die?
So
What
You got a lot
What
to
are
worry
you-
about, man.
what are you saying?
What about all your pre-orders from Sideshow, bro?
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Yeah. Fat Gadget and Valiant Archer. Yeah, you can slap the magnets on too. That is another way to do it. I just did the Velcro because it's like hella cheap, and then just, you know, and you couldn't see it. And it's partly because it completely masks, like, and maybe the magnets will too, but it completely masks all the gaps in here. When you set up your shelf, you don't need to have these little slots. They're all hidden. They're all hidden, and you might be able to still do that with the magnetic strips too. But I just picked up like cheap strips of Velcro just to be like, boom, you know what I'm saying? And it's nice because you can adjust your shelves. You know, if I'm like, you know what, this bottom shelf, let me take this guy out, and now I have a big, you know, statue shelf. You know what I mean, or something. So, kind of a cool idea. You know, if you want to do something,
you can play with those layers.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun to do, man. Prime says you can also be buried in your Moji case if they're large enough. Will hold the weight.
There's that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's pretty funny, man. But yeah, so I don't know. You know, it's just something I was wanting to talk about because I don't know how everybody. I think a lot of people start, you know, with DTOFs or Billies or something like that, and then eventually, like you guys are saying, like I love it. Like in my living room, I have 6 DTOFs. And each DTOF has 1 figure per shelf. I like that. Now, that doesn't really work when you start getting too many figures and all you have are DTOFs. Right? Because then all of a sudden that 1 per shelf turns into 2 per shelf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you double, you know what I'm saying? You're doubling your collection, you're tripling your collection. You're like, okay, now it's starting to get a little crowded. But because all my Star Wars and Star Trek stuff are within here, then any kind of like single comic book style figure that I have, if it's Marvel or DC, that has its nice little 1 shelf. And I like that. You know what I mean? And then I always pick up Luke lights. I don't know if you guys have Luke lights. I know some of us do. And I think these are the best lights because it's super, super clean.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, and this is the way to go. See, 1 figure per shelf. I love that. But not everybody can do it, so it's like I like to have a mix of displays. Because, as I said, most people kind of start out with DTOFs. And if you still have them and you make the jump to either like a custom display or Moji cases, and you still have room, then you can use those for like a nice, clean, you know, individual display like that. You know what I'm saying?
The interesting thing with the DTOFs is that you don't need to have many figures to make a collection room look great, because one per shell, 1 figure per shell in a room, I think looks amazing. And you don't need to have many figures. With, let's say, 30 figures, you can do amazing, because it really looks very nice. Who is there is there is one YouTuber, the Ireland Shane. He has 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐹s and he uses one figure.
Yeah, 1/6
per,
figure focus.
Yeah, and
One
looks
per.
pretty cool. Looks pretty cool because you
really
have only
nice.
one figure. Looks really nice.
Very museum display. I love it. That's
Exactly.
my favorite look. You know,
Yeah,
one
it's
figure
just
per
like
shelf.
that.
But
Just like
But
that picture.
for me, for lightings, I do DIY. I just buy the strips. I buy the transformers, and I eye the cables by myself. And when I want to change, when they go out, I can change if I want to change color or anything.
And the reason I did DIY, I have LED strips for the 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐹s. The reason I did that because Luke lights are the best, but the problem is that if you ever want to modify a shelf, the height, well, the Luke lights I believe are set.
Yeah, they're set.
They're
'Cause
set.
I
You would have to
I
cut
have
it.
acrylic shelves. I can't use them.
Yeah. So, and I was like, I didn't want to get stuck to that. I want to be able to like raise and lower a shelf whenever I want. So I just did the LED strip around the perimeter of the 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐹. So
And
looks
that
okay.
works too. FigFate's wondering. I said I had a roommate, right? How they feel about your collection and 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐹s in the living room. They don't care. They like it. They collect vicariously through me. You know, they're like, look at my collection. That's not really mine, but I live here. You know what I mean? So for them, they like it because they're like, oh, look, that's really cool, and I didn't pay for it. I'm like, you don't touch them. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, yeah, they don't mind. They don't mind at all. There's a fine line between a nice display and looking like a hoarder. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen, you know, and if you have the money to do it, it'd be really cool to go like really, really crazy with your display. But there's a problem
sometimes
with
it's
that.
not because you want to become an order. It's because you don't have space. So
Well,
you just put them over there.
Not only that, but you have to realize too. For example, Star Wars made, so far they've made the entire Rogue One line. If you're collecting the whole line, you're gonna look like a hoarder because they made a lot of figures. So it's not necessarily a hoarder. It just depends on, it's how you display them.
100%.
And I'm speaking about myself because, like I said, Rogue One has about 15 figures, right? So if you have 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐹s only, how is that going to look? You know what I mean? So if you have a regular case like I do, how is that going to look? Still 15 figures on a shelf. You know what I mean? So it's going to look crowded regardless, but it's an entire line. So that's the tricky part about it, because you could get one or two figures from the line, it's fine. But what if you want the whole line? Then you're going to look like a hoarder because you have the whole line. But it just depends on how you display it.
It is. That's a fact, man. Because some people are just like, well, they're there, and that's it, right? But it is. It's how you display it. You're like, wow, okay, this shit looks cool. However you decide it. It's just like Doc Mizzle said, yeah, it ain't hoarding if your shit is cool. Like, and that's how it is. But you're right though, and it gets that way where like you do run out of space. You run out of space. Those are the two killers in this game. It's money and space. So, and then the wait time, but that's just kind of an inconvenience. But the money and space are the huge factors. So that's why I opted to do it, because I was like, wow, I have everything from Rogue One minus like 2 troopers, right? But I basically have the whole line, and I didn't want them in like, yeah, and in little individual 𝕄𝔻𝐿𝐹 cubbies. And then if I try to put them all in, I'm like, ooh, that doesn't look right to me. I need something wider, right? So now we're upgrading the display. You know what I'm saying? How do I do this? Oh, when I was collecting my MCU and I had my whole like Avengers lineup, that looked dope. I had them on a custom shelf and they're all posed up in like superhero poses and they're all together like a team. I'm like, that's dope. Like I love that. Of course not. They've sold them all, but the point is you know what I mean. You get creative when you have more space. So there's something for everybody, right? Like
that's the way also you like to display. For example, for me, I don't like to have, for example, in the same shelf, I don't like to have Marvel and DC. I don't like to have them together. I like to have the things separate, or Star Wars and mix Marvel in the same shelf. I don't like that. and
Well,
it maybe looks good, but I just don't like to have mixed stuff.
Me neither. No, I'm with you. But what were you saying, Fabio?
Well, no, Marvel and DC don't get along because you haven't watched the movie, so that's why you can't put them together.
Nothing related with that. I just don't want to have, for example, the Dark Knight in one shelf and then have just Spider-Man. I don't like that. But
no, it doesn't make sense.
It has to do with space.
Yeah, which I get, which I completely get. You know,
so
you get, but Fabio doesn't understand nothing of this.
So you're not going to put Batman and Moon Knight together, is what you're saying?
No,
obviously no.
I mean, you could.
Obviously,
you could.
You could because it makes sense in a comic world where you're like, hey, this is kind of cool. You know,
for me, I already feel bad that I'm using the Jack Nicholson Joker near Bane. they are from DC, but they are nothing related one to each other.
No, illegal. No,
this is illegal. Exactly illegal.
Yes.
No.
And every morning when I wake up and I come here with my coffee, I look at those and I feel bad. My OCD starts to bothering me.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to full screen myself just to show you guys. This drives me nuts. So all my Star Trek are right here. And they're just chilling here with all my Star Wars. And that's not cool. It's not cool. It's driving me crazy. They're in their close proximity, right? You know, and it's just, I agree with Joel in that sense. Like, I need to have separate things, and that's why I'm getting the Maji cases, because I'm going to be setting up my scenes that are specific to like each show, you know.
So
and that's
why don't you get like a fish tank and put them in there?
Well, I mean, you could, I suppose, but fish tanks aren't cheap either, bro. Like,
and then, for example, you have figures like Pennywise, because they are amazing. I like Pennywise, but that is a figure that doesn't fit anywhere. He fits where? I will pose him near who? There is no anyone to accompany him together. He needs to be alone.
So you buy a Detolf.
But that's not your problem, and there are no Detolfs here.
IKEA.com. Try it.
IKEA in China doesn't sell Detolfs.
You can get it. It's going to be more expensive than a Maji case, but you can get it.
Yeah, but you can get custom cases built like nothing over there in China compared to here.
Yeah, I built that table for my Batmobile, the 89, but I don't want to build tables and tables. I don't want to have a room full of tables only to pose figures.
But you don't have to go to a table manufacturer though. You might be able to find people that create shelves.
I'll ship you mine when I get my Maji.
The shelf in my back was custom made, but in the end, it will be more expensive than to get module cases.
True, and Joe Mama's right. Yeah, fish tanks are cheaper than Maji cases, but Maji cases are the way to go, man. In my opinion,
module cases you can stack them together. They have already the lighting, they have everything. The fish tank can work if it's one, but if you want to put them together, they will not look good.
No.
Come to see my collection. I have here 10 fish tanks with figures inside.
It's like 𝕬𝐿𝐿𝐼𝐻 saying, I hopes to eventually do a Maji case 3-tier display. You got Marvel, you have Star Wars and DC, and then film history, and that's cool, and that's okay if they're next to each other. Because if you have a Maji case on top of a Maji case, but one is Marvel and one is DC, that's okay. That proximity is all right. But if you had like half a Marvel and half a DC in one shelf, it's like that's where I agree with Joel. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, because module case, you get one. Okay, you use the DeLorean inside, you put Martin, Doc, done. You got your Back to the Future in one module case, and so on and so on and so on. You can use each one for one line, and I think it looks great this way.
Yeah, I agree.
The way Fabio have his display, because there is a video on Dante channel that was, I think, the first video they did with Fabio showing the collection. It's 1 hour long because he's showing all the collection. I already saw that video maybe 2 or 3 times, because every time I'm going to see the video, I found new figures. Because he has so many layers in the back that every time I see the video, he also has this one.
Yeah, no, that's the thing with, that's why I want the module cases too, because some of the shelves literally have, 3 rows and you can't really see unless I have a flashlight in there, like trying to get the You know, so yeah, it's
A flashlight to find the figures.
Right, you're like, I swear I
Where's
bought
Waldo?
him in like 2015.
no, yeah, it
or
has.
somewhere, like,
I have about, literally not exaggerating, I have about at least like 8 on one detail shelf in one of the cases. 8
Do you
figures.
have a 1/6 scale Waldo? Because that'd be great a game to
No,
fight him and move him around.
he came
Find
out. Is
Waldo.
he out now?
I didn't get him.
Already out. It went out. Was out beginning last year, end of last year.
Who was it?
from
Entebbe,
Blitzway.
right? Or Blitzway.
Blitzway.
Blitzway,
Yeah, they did the 1/6 scale and the 1/12 scale too.
Yeah, I almost got him too because I thought it would be cool to have him, and I said forget it.
Ah, go pick him up. He's still around, right?
I don't know. Is he?
Yeah,
Well,
That would be amazing. And just
I have one
put
if you
him in
want.
there every month or so. Just throw him in a different shelf,
Imagine.
and then try to find him. Be like, where the hell did I put him? Oh, there he is. Like, you know, no, that would be great, man. Shit. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I think that's pretty cool, though. You know, module cases or custom shelves, or eventually, because you expand, right? And when I look at a collecting point of view, it's kind of like, hey, I think like a lot of us are in it. Like I've been collecting since I was a kid, whether it was, you know, it wasn't obviously Hot Toys, but always I've been collecting my entire life. So I feel like if you're going to be collecting and you know you're hard into it, you really want to set up a nice display, because there's nothing better than, like, you know what I mean, coming home or wherever, going into that room and being like, damn, this looks pretty awesome, right?
yeah,
I
but
mean,
that's not important if it's module case custom or what. Just what feels good to you and you feel good in your collecting room. I think it's perfect. Some people like to have the figures on those floating shelves without any cases or anything. Just those. What's the name? The IKEA have those floating shelves that you just.
the Bestas can
stuck-
do that, or the
No,
shelves,
not
the
Bestos.
lax,
Just the lax,
the lax.
exactly.
That's what I have up here.
Many people like to have that. I don't like because of the dust, but it looks good. If you are in the dust-free home, it looks good. Dante, I think, have his order figures all in those shelves, and they look good.
1/6 shooter, what's up, buddy? He said for half the price of 2 Module Case 6 displays, I'm doing the same amount of space with an IKEA PAX and adding custom plexi frame covers and lighting. Yeah, so you can totally.
Packs, I don't know which ones are these.
That's
The-
like
the
I'm
pack-
looking it up. It's like a closet system, no?
I thought they looked kind of like the Billies, but I could be wrong, man. It's been a while since I looked at them. But they're like big ass shelves, right?
Yeah, basically.
And they are glass on the front. Is a complete clean glass, or is like a door?
It's customizable. It's like what I just typed in IKEA PAX, and it's literally what it took me to is it's like a closet system. So yeah, you can make it anything you want. It could be like a display if you just put acrylic
Yeah.
in front of it, like you're saying. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying here. I can actually bring it up. And he says they're 22 inches deep. So that's not bad. I don't know if vehicles
That could
fit,
work.
right? But yeah, they are like the IKEA packs here. This is how they look. Bring them up real quick. So it's exactly like that. You can just design it. Yeah, you just design them how you want. Don't buy the doors, or don't buy the shelves, or do if you want, but you can create however you want, and then, like he's saying, just, you know, put the plexiglass on the front. You can order some and make something.
So you'd make your own doors and stuff.
Yeah, because you just do the plexiglass.
That's a lot of work.
So it doesn't have to be like, this isn't how it looks. If you're like, I want to buy one this big and I want to buy one that big.
Yeah,
I
but
wanna buy
even
one
so,
that
then all the shelves, they are not glass. They are made of board, right? You cannot have those on glass. Those shelves, each shelf is made of MDF board or something like that. You need to make covers or doors. Yeah.
But there's options. There's options to be able to do stuff like that if you wanted to. 39 wide, you can get a vehicle in them. Okay, yeah. I mean, so there's cool ways. There's cool ways of doing stuff. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it really depends on what you want to do. There are glass shelves as well, he's saying.
Okay.
So
Fabio needs to turn his collection into a museum. I'd buy a ticket to it. You see?
I know. He just needs security. That's all right.
No, you can do virtual tours.
Oh, virtual tours. Yeah, you can
Virtual,
sell. Yeah,
right?
I mean, you guys are all into that
On a live
NFTs
stream
and stuff, right? You know, so do something like that. Be like, here, you got an exclusive virtual tour, and just charge people whatever you want, man.
Yeah. When I'm moving the virtual camera, I want to be able to turn on the flashlight though for the figures in the back.
Oh yeah, if we're paying, yeah, I need
turn
that
on
service.
the flashlight.
Full control.
Yes, full control. I agree. I think that figures look better with space to breathe and figures that belong next to each other, but I understand that sometimes it is no longer possible in terms of space. Absolutely. It's 100%, man. I'll let you know real quick. For me, we were kind of talking about a little bit earlier. For if I'm using DTOFs, I use Luke lights. That's how I like them. They're just clean. They're specifically built for DTOFs. That's my go-to personally. If I'm building my custom shelf here, I used spotlights, but you can do LED strips. You can do whatever. You can do whatever. But if you're DTOFing it, I would say get Luke lights personally. I love that stuff. I love them. So 100 people watching. I haven't even mentioned it, but if you guys can, go ahead and like, subscribe to everybody here as well. Everybody's link is in the description below. I think we're probably gonna wrap though, man. We're almost to that 2-hour mark. But that was a good topic, man. It's good stuff to talk about. There's a lot of things to consider, you know, whether you're, you know, setting up your displays or what's your situation with your collection and the crazy amount of pre-orders out there and everything. You know, it's a lot of it's food for thought, right? And I think that's what's important here, you know, as collectors, rather than, you know, it's fun to talk about the releases and announcements, but you know, at the same time, it's also, there's a whole world involved in collecting, you know what I mean, that we don't always sometimes consider. And again, like we all know, there's a lot of new collectors coming in as well. So pretty good information, I think, as far as that goes, man. But yeah, I think that's good, man. Desi, what do you got going on, man?
Right now, it's just a video I dropped earlier today. Then they'll probably have another video around the same time next week. I'm trying to drop one video a week with tutorials, and that's about it. And I'll probably be in a couple of streams throughout the week if I can. But that's about it. Check out my channel, Metamorphic Customs, and yeah, that's it.
Of course, yeah. And again, everybody's link is in the description below.
Check out everyone else's channels.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Joel, man, thank you for making it, man. I know it's always a little tricky with the scheduling with you.
No,
man.
it's fine. This hour is quite good for me. Thank you for having me, Anthony. In my channel, I'm going to review, I think tomorrow, the Robert De Niro from Godfather. Is already out, and the Indiana Jones also during this week, the one from Present Toys. And that's about it. And we will have our live stream on Wednesday. I'm still checking if I can do it this Wednesday. I'm not sure yet. Fabio, you have some question for you in the comments. Someone's asking you. Okay.
Yeah, extra room will be made. Which is true. Hey, Carlos, my man, $10 super chat. Thank you, my friend. I was just wrapping up too, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were just tuning in. I haven't seen you tonight.
Now you need to stay. You need to stay for more 10 minutes.
Let's stay for Carlos.
The number.
We'll stay for a few more minutes, Carlos, because I got some knockers for you that I want to tell you. But thank you, dude. Thank you for the super chat. But Fabio, what else is going on with you, man?
Oh man, Ahsoka. Gotta open her up.
How many?
Well, I got 3, but I'm only opening 2 for now.
I got 3.
And then what else? I got something else coming. I forgot what it was. Oh, I got the what the hell's his name? Robert De Niro from Present Toys coming. What was it?
From the Godfather.
Godfather. Yes. I got him coming as well. So yeah, so stay tuned for those.
That'll be awesome. Dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Carlos, we were gonna wrap, but I mean, there's not really much else to talk about tonight, man. I don't want to like keep everybody up.
Unless you want to talk about your predictions for the Queen Studios tonight announcements.
Well,
actually,
I mean,
you know, it's a good topic for Carlos because he's a numbers guy too. Talk about your exclusivity. What do you call it? Thoughts on the whole Queen Studios 3-day thing, because you'll be into that.
Oh
you
yeah,
want
but
to let that out so bad.
I'll talk to that. I could talk my ear off on that one, bro. And I'm sure he probably would too. But you know, I will say, just from the silhouettes of that video, it does look like on the right hand side that's a Nightmare Batman. But I think those are all statues.
I think so. I think they're statues.
Yeah, I think they're statues. Because I would think that they would do an in-arts video for their line of 6 skill. Whereas this is all branded Queen Studios. Unless they're just mixing things, I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, whatever, man. That's all good. We'll tune in next time and talk more about that, because I'm sure tomorrow we're going to see the releases and we're going to kind of go from there. What is going on with me, though? I mean, as you guys know already, you know, channel members giving away the Hellboy for those who haven't seen it. There it is. Bam. Good to go for our channel members. So if you're not a channel member and you want to participate in the giveaway, let me know. What else we got going on? I do the posing reviews with Mario on the Sunday mornings. Mondays, I started a Star Trek show with Robert Byron Burnett and Denobi. So that's really fun, where we're talking Trek on Monday nights. We already did one episode last week. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
I said I can't wait. Can learn something about Star Trek.
You'll learn, man.
Yes,
you
will.
We'll make you a Trekkie.
I learned.
I promise.
No, seriously, that was a great show, man.
I can learn something.
Thank you, man. Fabio tuned in. He was there.
I was watching.
He was there for like 2 minutes. He's like, Star Trek. And he left. I didn't hear from him the rest of the night. But he did show up for support. Carlos, again, man, thank you so much. $10 super chat. He says, it's all good. I just got back from dinner. Fabio, are the hats on the stickers okay?
Oh my god.
Yes. Well, I got it. He super chatted it. So thank you again, Carlos, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, other than that, man, good stuff, man. Road to 2K, 2K subs getting there soon. And yeah, and then of course, I got my morning shows you guys know about that, a lot of people come in and tune in. So again, thanks guys for coming tonight on the panel, and thank you everybody for tuning in and discussing everything with us. And subscribe to everybody that's here. Of course. All great content from all over the world. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Yeah. All right. You guys have a good night. Peace out.